First up, though, the Congress Party of India has released its election manifesto. Just a short while ago, Congress President Rahul Gandhi released the party's manifesto for the 2019 polls, stressing how it aims to unite people. Rahul claimed that the manifesto reflects the voice of the people, calling it crowdsourced. He said that the manifesto has 5 main themes, that is justice through the Nyaya scheme, national security, employment, farmers and education. Speaking on the Congress's ambitious Nyaya scheme of basic income for the poor, he said that once the scheme is fully implemented, it will cost approximately 3.6 lakh crore rupees and will benefit 5 crore families. Remember, this is a big poll promise that Rahul Gandhi made. He said that there were 22 lakh job vacancies, and if voted to power, his party will fill them in less than a year. WION's political editor Kartikeya Sharma joining us live on the broadcast for more on that story. Kartikeya, big promises from Rahul Gandhi, but a focus on employment, focus on the Nyaya scheme, really touching perhaps the vein of issues that a lot of common people are facing.
I think, Aisha, my understanding is that the Congress has gone for a manifesto which is non-polarizing. You see, Bharatiya Janata Party will have a manifesto, but then it has actually gone on a campaign on very polarizing issues. For example, 35A and 370. BJP has been in power for 5 years, but then, suddenly during election 317, 35A crops up. Balakot was not supposed to be a political stunt, but then somehow it becomes part of the political narrative. Or, for example, people refrain from polarizing election on religious lines, but Wayanad suddenly comes into picture. And there are multiple reasons for it, but I think as a strategy, BJP has decided at one level they will polarize the election, at a second level they will talk about the subsidy architecture they have given, which is no doubt is there. Congress, on the other hand, has gone on a very different tangent. I found it was a pleasant surprise, Aisha, to even have pollution as part of the campaign strategy. We do stories every time. Every second week, people are dying of pollution, but they have dedicated a section on pollution as to how it should be tackled. A lot of critics would say that it's very, very NGO-ish type of a manifesto. But I would say this manifesto is concise, better than the last one, small, and focused directly on the agrarian and job sector.
All right.
Directly on job and agrarian sector, because if Congress plays on the BJP's pitch, I don't think they will stand a chance. But if they go for campaign on issue like this, then they do stand a chance.
All right. And they are accused of utilizing the soft Hindutva ploy when elections come around. But coming back to the Congress president, he made some big promises last week as well, specifically about the Nyaya scheme, and he called it a surgical strike on poverty. Did he detail more, in more detail perhaps, the nuances and the architecture of this scheme?
See, architecture of Nyaya scheme, I would say, is the Manifesto Research Committee. There are a number of economists who are working with Rahul Gandhi. Pravat Chakravarti, who heads the data department. Then you have Mr. Chidambaram, Anand Sharma, Rajiv Gowda. They have taken inputs from Raghuram Rajan. They have taken inputs from famous writers and people who have done great work on agricultural sectors, who wrote a very definitive book that everyone loves a good drought, P. Sainath. So number of such people have been taken into account. They have been consulted, and they feel that Nyaya is one scheme on which they can fight elections. But now, the whole issue around Nyaya is the feasibility part. Now today Niti Aayog said that it's 17% of the total budget. Congress has said it is less than 2% of the GDP. Now, I really don't know where the truth lies, because it's about number. Is budget equal to GDP or not? But I know that in political messaging, it works. Like the political messaging of 2014 and 16 lakhs into people's bank account worked. Simple messages work. So I think Congress has realized that there is no point, taking on BJP on the issue of a nationalist narrative.
Interesting, and of course, like you mentioned, messaging is key for both political parties, especially since we're so close to the start of polling. He also challenged the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to a debate. What exactly was Rahul Gandhi alluding to when he asked the Prime Minister or challenged him to come on a public forum and talk it out? How did the media really react to that mention from Mr. Gandhi?
I see. Rahul Gandhi had been taking questions. It is a very different story. Earlier engagement with Rahul Gandhi was very limited. Now you can see that he took 20 questions, maybe 22 questions. He has done hundreds of press conferences. But in a way, he has matured as a politician. If you look at him, I just look at him from the perspective of a journalist, he does not go beyond the script. So, you might take 50 questions, but if you keep yourself to a script, you don't become a subject yourself. You keep the subject which suits your politics. So today, that's what happened. When I asked him on the Balakot narrative, and is your narrative enough, he did not respond on Balakot. That was the first word. He went on to the jobs and agrarian sector directly. So yes, that way he has evolved. But I would say that, the fundamental difference in terms of soft and hard Hindutva in politics has somehow got breached. That dividing line has gone. It's like soft Hindutva married to Nyay, hard Hindutva married to agricultural subsidy. But Hindutva remains.
All right, we'll leave it at that, Kartikeya. Thanks very much for bringing us those updates from the Congress manifesto, which has been released by the president of the party, Rahul Gandhi. But let's talk a little bit more about another pet initiative that Mr. Gandhi has been talking about, that is the Nyay scheme. The idea of a basic income as promised by the Congress is not new, though, but it does have any incentive compatibility to previous such schemes. That's the question. Well, there has been a deluge of opinion, but as per former Niti Aayog Vice Chairman, it does not. The former Vice Chief, that is Arvind Pangaria, feels that the issue is a big issue of credibility. He said, and I quote, "There are lots of hurdles in this Nyay scheme. In total, they will need rupees 3.6 lakh crore for this scheme, which is 13% of the total budget of the central government. Nobody has said how they will get this much money to implement the scheme. It's even more than our defence budget," end quote. He went on to say that the NDA government has properly mentioned in its budget how it will get 75,000 crore rupees for its farmers scheme, but that the Congress has not given out a detailed budget on how they plan on implementing Nyay. Remember, Rahul Gandhi's planned scheme could cost almost 5 times more as the PM's Kisan scheme. Experts fear that with no proper income surveys in India, many people will hide their true income to qualify for this scheme, in a way making the biggest liars the biggest gainers.